My fondest memory of my mother was when I was about 3 years old, and I lived in Chadbourn, North Carolina, and I got away from the house, and I got away from my mother and daddy, and I walked out in a street that was real sandy, wanting to go to a neighbor's house. And when they found me, I got a real good spanking, because I wasn't supposed to be out of that house. And that was not a very pleasant one, I agree, but anyway, she cared enough to get out and get me out of the street.
She always supported us kids when we were in high school, playing ball, whatever. She'd always go to the games and always made sure we were in church on Sunday.
Probably that she always would color with us. It didn't matter what we were doing, she would always sit down and color with me and my sister.
Well, she is nice, and she drives me to McDonald's every Wednesday.
The first one is her being a part of James, my first child being born. She changed his first diaper, and her becoming a grandmother.
Soon after my younger brother was born, I guess my mom knew that that was probably a hard adjustment for me. And I remember her taking time on Friday evenings after my brother would go to bed, and we would stay up and watch a movie or pop popcorn or play a game. And then I just thought it was something that was just for fun. Looking back now, I know that was her making sure that I knew that I was loved, and that's such a special memory to me.
The best lesson that my mother ever taught me was that my relationship with my family is most important.
Well, she calmly explains things to me. To listen and follow directions.
Probably the best lesson was not to run from her when she was going to chastise me. I remember one time when we lived over at Ponce de Leon, I'd done something and she got all upset about it and started after me, and I run, and I made the mistake of saying, running out in the little patch of woods there at the house that, I got shoes on and you hadn't. She turned right around and went back to the house. A couple hours later, when I went into the house, guess what? She hadn't forgot that I'd run from her, and I really got chastised at that time.
The best lesson that Mom ever taught me was in elementary school. It was third grade, actually. And she told me to always be kind to others, no matter what they look like, dress, skin color. It didn't matter, to always treat others how you wanted to be treated. And I've been able to use that lesson throughout my life when I meet others as well.
One of the best lessons that my mother ever taught me was just the importance of loving people. She's been super involved just in the lives of children at our church. She takes time out of her week every Wednesday and Sunday just to love on kids and teach them about God's love. And through my whole life, she's reminded me that that's important and encouraged me to do the same to everyone I come across, no matter who they are or where they come from.
The best lesson that my mother ever taught me was probably when I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I wanted to learn to sew. But she informed me that if I learned to sew, I had to be more patient, and I had to follow directions and not just go ahead and do it without asking first how to do certain things. And I realized then how important it was that I ask first and then try to do what I was told to do.
My mom set a wonderful example of Christ-likeness in our home growing up. She is such a servant. She always just puts others first, especially my brother and I and my father. And she makes sure that we know that we are loved. And she has always taught us the importance of reading the Word and being in church. She set an example to us by bringing us to church every Sunday and Wednesday growing up, and taught us that the Lord was just the priority and the most important thing, and that we should always keep Him as number one.
She reads the Bible a lot, and she acts like him.
By always praying for us and making sure we were in church.
My mother always showed Christ-likeness in my home because she was such a sweet, loving Christian woman. But one of the main things that she was just always there, loving me and looking after me because she stayed at home. She was a stay-at-home mom, so she was right there with me all the time.
Daily, I would see her reading her Bible, especially at night. I remember going into the bedroom and seeing her have her little lamp on, reading the Bible, and always giving me words of encouragement throughout the Bible as well.
My mom showed Christ-likeness in my home by wanting me and my sister to have good morals and to be good to people and to always be ourselves.
She reads the Bible sometimes, like on the phone. Well, yeah, sometimes she reads like a Christian book too.
How have I strived to be like my mom, to be the best mom that I've ever could be, because she has been the best mom for me.
I want to be like my mom, how she is nice and always teaches about God. I would drive her to McDonald's.
One of the main things that I remember most of all about my mother was when I was only 5 and 6 years old, probably. She sang in the choir at the church, and she lined all 3 of us up on the front row of the church. And if we started talking or whispering to each other, my mother gave us that look. And she had big brown eyes, and boy, when she rolled those eyes at you, you knew you better straighten up, because she disciplined us with her looks as much as anything. But that was one of the main things that I have. Her discipline was very important.
I'm already like my mom in the way that I carry her singing abilities. That's where I have my ability to sing from. But mom is just so giving, just in anything that she does, whether it's here at church, whether it's at school. So that's how I would like to be more like her, is just her ability to give back.
I will definitely strive to be like my mom. I'm getting married soon, and just seeing her example of what a godly wife is means a lot to me right now. I hope that I can be that much of a prayer warrior, just love others as she does. I hope that I can be half the woman that she is.
Probably by going to church and making sure that my family's in church and that kind of stuff. And always praying for my kids, because she always prayed for us. And we always knew, or I do, when she was praying for me. I can feel it.
What is most unique about my mom is her perfect ability just to balance being a parent and being a friend. She has always been parent first, but the older I've gotten, the more she has become my friend, and even now she's my best friend.
Just her love for us. She always put us first. It didn't matter with what, but me and my sister come first.
I had to think on that. She had so many traits and whatnot that I guess that she was a God-fearing lady, and that she had loved to teach young people in church and Sunday school, and showed a great example to all of us.
What I like best about my mom is she's always nice and she's always pretty.
Most unique thing about my mother was that she was a jack of all trades. She could do almost anything. I felt like my mother could move the world if we asked her to. She not only could sew and cook well, but she was just ready to do most anything that people asked her to do.
How do I think I'm like my mom? Well, first off, anywhere I go, I get, "You look just like Kelly." So I get that everywhere. Over the phone as well, I'm always mistaken for my mom, so just a lot like her in a lot of ways. I think one of the traits that I carry, though, is just her kindness and her love that she has for everyone.
I don't think I could ever live up to being like my mother, but I try.
I'm a lot like my mom. The older I get, I can hear her voice coming out of my mouth on a regular basis. We have a bunch of the same silly facial expressions that we make. Definitely something that's important that we share is just our faith and our love for the Lord. And we're a lot of like. We're definitely a lot of like, and I'm really thankful for that. She's the woman that I want to be like, and she's my role model.
She's an inspiration. I love her. She has taught me so many things of how to be a mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.